Hey guys, good day, and welcome to another episode of, well, I guess it's a vlog. I have an accepted house offer. I'm going to be a homeowner again. I'm leaving the Arctic. I'm leaving the Arctic within the next few months. I take over. I take over the house in 73 days. I'll go out. I'll get a few things done. I'll have to come back for a bit, and then a few weeks after I come back, I'm gone for good. Where is always the question. So originally I was going to Fort Cuapel or Wynyard or things like that in Saskatchewan. I was offered a job with Red Apple Stores, which owns the Bargain Shop and a few other places. But the timing never worked out because I was supposed to go by now, and I would have been gone by now, but we had to come back because my ex-wife hadn't signed custody of Aiden yet, so things weren't finalized, and because they weren't finalized, we were still in the midst of fighting, and I couldn't get a mortgage. Then they came back to me because they'd been circling us for a few months, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to come to the paw?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my ex-wife signed the paperwork. Between this date and this date is when I can get out." And they're like, "Oh, that works perfectly for us. Give us a few days, we'll get you a contract." A few days went by. Like, "Hey, you got a contract yet?" They're like, well, when exactly do you think you'll get here?" And I go, "Well, once you give me a contract, I can tell you a better idea of when I'll get there. But as of right now, this and this is the dates. These are the 3 ways I can get out." And yeah. So they go, "Okay, we'll get back to you in a few days." So a few days go by, and I'm like, "Do you have this contract yet?" And they're like, "Well, we don't want to give you a contract till you buy a house." And I'm like, I'm not buying a house in the Paw, Manitoba, which is northern Manitoba with nothing around it, unless I have a contract in hand. You give me a contract, there's 3 houses that we want, and they're all available, and they're all available for the possession we want. We can get there. And he goes, "Okay, well, I'm with the president today. I'll get back to you in a few days." Well, it's been about 2 weeks. So we said, "You know what? You want to string us along? Fuck you. We're looking elsewhere." So we started looking in Saskatchewan because that's where we wanted to go anyway. And we were looking in the cities. We were looking in Regina, Saskatoon, Moose Jaw, Prince Albert. The house we ended up getting is in Regina. It's in one of the better neighborhoods in Regina. Not great neighborhood, but better. It's not in the bottom 5. My problem is, and here's my problem, and I don't know if anyone that's watching is from Regina or knows anyone in Regina. First, we need to find jobs. We need to find jobs that pay okay. I mean, we get paid okay for what we do. Actually, we get paid horribly for what we do, but in the long run, we get paid okay. Between the 2 of us, we're a little over $100,000 between the 2 of us. So we're both, one of us is over 55, well, over 50, not me, and one of us is very close to 50. And I mean, we don't care if we make a little less, but we're trying to stay in the same ballpark. The offer that I had been given by Red Apple was $48,000, which made me really happy. I was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna lose $1,000, but I don't live in the Arctic anymore." I know that's not what you're going to find to start everywhere. I'm hoping to find between 45 and 52 is what I'm hoping. But everything I've found in Regina so far wants a driver's license. And, well, blind. So that isn't working. So we need to find jobs. So if anyone knows any jobs out there, hook a brother up. Hook a brother up. And then we need to start finding a way to get a lot of extra money because we have nothing, right? We have to pay to get all of our stuff out. So like I said, there's pros and cons to this job. The biggest con is if you've decided that it's been enough, you have to get yourself and your stuff out yourself. And that is a fairly lucrative business, depending on where in the country you are. I know my buddy who was one of the guys that trained me to do what I do, he spent over $30,000 getting his stuff out of the Arctic. He's like, "I wish I had just sold it all and just bought new." we don't have a lot of furniture per se. This is mostly, you know, a few of the kids' toys, a few bits of electronics, and our clothes. And even that's going to cost a shitload to get out. Trying to figure, you know, my wife always makes the jokes of start up an OnlyFans page and do some like naughty Santa stuff. There's so many people that have a Santa fetish, it'll work. So out of shits and giggles, I'm like, you know what? Let's set one up today. I went to verify myself, and I can't verify myself because I have a beard. It wants your face perfectly framed, like your chin and everything. And I'm like, I'm not allowed to have facial hair to be a creator on OnlyFans. Are you actually setting yourself up to only have women stripping? You can't have a fat guy that looks like Santa Claus strip? What the fuck? But so again, I mean, we're gonna need to buy beds. Really, when we get there, our majority of things is like a shovel, snow shovel, you know, basic tools so that I can do some of the work around the house because I'll slowly have to regroup tools and stuff. Weed whacker, lawnmower, 3 beds, 3 or 4 dressers, beds. I'll have to do the math to see if it's better to go box spring, metal frame, and mattress, or if it's just better to go mattress platform, because sometimes the platform is cheaper. For me and my wife, we're probably gonna have to go box spring, solely because we're both a little bit larger, and the things I do in that room, I don't know if a platform bed will hold it properly. If you got to get our dogs out, so we got to find out if we're flying. For flying, they have to go out on cargo because they're both bigger, right? Colleen's like 120 pounds. Otis is 150 right now, and he's only 9.5 months old, so he's just going to keep growing. Or if we drive out on the winter road, it's cheaper, but it adds lots of hours. And we got to find somebody that can lead our car back here. And if we could get a trailer, we could just pull our stuff out. To charter a plane is anywhere from $6,700 to $10,000, depending on the company, because nobody has a plane at the places closest to us. They're all coming from things like Pickle Lake and Thunder Bay and all that, because nobody, or Thompson, nobody has anything sitting in Winnipeg for charters or sitting in Red Lake for charters, apparently. I've been doing the math of just the furniture we need, and I think for that I need about $5,000. Hopefully I can find it. I don't know, right? I don't know how anyone is expected to get out. I don't know. Like you're trapped. You're not going to hold on to a house outside of here if you're up here for years. You're just not going to. It doesn't make sense. It's not fiscally responsible. I'm making my daughter her lunch right now, if you're wondering what I'm doing. But on top of that, you have nothing because all your furniture is provided here. So you have no furniture. So when you decide to leave, you are legitimately starting from scratch. And being in Pavernatuk, my pay was okay. My pay was better than here because I had a $5,000 market adjustment. That $5,000 market adjustment helped, but what it was for was to offset the Quebec taxes. But my bonuses there, I was there for 3 years. My bonuses were $500, $300, and $155. The third year that we did in PUV was the $155 bonus. That $155 bonus, which was more a slap in the face than anything. Other than that, sorry, I just heard something I had to go check on. It was for 6 months, so it would have been $310. The 6 months here was worth a bonus of $7,775. So That's disgusting difference. So part of our problem was we were shipped up to Nunavik to begin with, right? So there was no way of saving anything because your wage is completely and utterly taxed. Your housing is a taxable benefit. Your food is a taxable benefit. Your trips out are a taxable benefit. Well, a trip out for a family of 5 was $39,000 round trip, and they do that twice. So according to your income tax, right there you have almost $80,000 more than you made, plus you have your house, plus you have your food, plus you have your wage. So my wife was paying out like $16,000 in tax a year because we were in Nunavik, on top of not making much money because it was all being taxed. And then our bonuses were a slap in the face. So again, there's pros and cons to this company. If you get in a place that has no bonuses and costs a lot to fly out of, that is a huge motherfucking con. Now, Nunavut, for instance, their taxes are so low that it doesn't really matter. You get all your tax money back anyway. So even if you weren't getting a great bonus, and bonuses in Nunavut are apparently a lot better than Nunavik, but whatever. Here, our family of 5 going on vacation cost like $4,000 each way. So $8,000 goes on top of her thing instead of 80. Taxes won't be nearly as bad, and the bonus will be better. So I mean, if we had 4 years here, we'd be leaving exactly how we wanted to leave. We'd be leaving with all of her credit cards paid off and basically a house paid off in full. But alas, that's not how ye old universe decided to work for us. Ye old universe decided to send us somewhere where we were working for about $400 each a month. And then that's after taxes and everything else that was paid out, child support and all that type of stuff. And you'd think, hey, you could save that but that $400 a month a lot of times went towards groceries, because yes, you had your food allowance, but up there food was 3 times as much as it is here. So a lot of times you'd be buying like a can of Coke. If you wanted a can of Coke or a can of Diet Coke, for instance, it was $4 a can. You wanted a bottle, a 500 milliliter bottle, you were looking at almost $10 a bottle. So things just, that $400 went pretty quickly. You wanted a case of beer. It wasn't dry there, so you could get a case of beer, but a 12 pack of the small pop can size bottles, cans of Bud, was $70. Well, it's not something that's really all that feasible when you're working for $400. So yeah, there was nothing. Now we're not being taxed. We actually were able to save up. We got our down payment, we got our inspection payment, we got our lawyer payment. We have some money towards getting out. But I mean, again, will we have enough? But you have to take that leap, because if you don't take that leap, you're just stuck. And that is the biggest con here, is feeling stuck. Feeling like you can't get out. Feeling like you want out, but you can't. And I mean, this company would do a lot better if after, say, 3 or 4 or 5 years working for them, if you said, you know what, this just isn't for me, I've given you this many years, they said, you know what, we'll fly your family and your stuff out. But they don't. And they don't because that keeps you longer. Because they know you're going to save. You're going to have to save to get out. And each extra year you're here, you're probably picking up more things that you own, so it costs more to get out. It's this... So unless you're somebody that lives out of a suitcase and is good with living out of a suitcase, it can be a bad job. We told our DSO when they were here for their audit on Friday that we were leaving. The vice president of Canadian retail knows we're leaving because he was here. The president of operations knows we're leaving. He wasn't happy. He's like, hey, are you guys excited for your renovation? I'm like, we won't be here for that. He goes, why? Where are we moving you to? I go, you're not moving us. We're moving us. He goes, but why? I go, you're paying me peanuts to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I'm not doing it anymore. It's been a full year. We've asked for a raise a year ago. You guys kept making excuses. It's time to go. I've given up time with my family. I've given up time with my wife. I've given up time. I've missed phone calls with my 2 kids that are with my ex-wife. I just can't do it anymore. So no, we're done. He's like, well, that's unfortunate. You guys are both very competent managers and your numbers say you do very good. He goes, I'm going to be sad to see you go. And I go, well, your VP of Canadian retail is the one that let us go because he didn't want to give us a promotion, a raise. He wanted to keep our store as a level 1, even though our sales are almost, well, there's a level, the store I came from was a level 3, and the store that my brother-in-law was at was a level 4. But one of the store that was a level 4 is now posted, the manager position is posted, it's a level 3 now. We make $50,000 more a month than them. Our prices are a third the price. So how much volume are we moving to make $50,000? Sorry, it's $50,000 a week, not a month. It's $50,000 a week we make more than them. So I'm making almost $200,000 more a month than these guys, which is $2.4 million a year more than these guys, with prices that are a third of these guys' price, and you're going, no, you're a level 2. Okay. What do they have in their store? Oh, nothing? Well, we have a Quick Stop, HMR. We have a post office. We have a fresh meat program. We have, like, what the fuck? Oh, no, you're a level 2. We were a level 1 when we came. You started paying us as a level 1. And then you moved us up to level 2 and paid us an extra $1,000. And then you were like, I'm not going to move you up anymore, even though you've proven taking, because you can look up every store's budgets. You can. So I brought up budgets from stores that are high level 3s and we're doing better volume than them and better numbers. And they're like, oh, no. You're a level 2. Go fuck yourselves. So again, I'm frustrated. I don't hate this job. I don't. But the entire pros and cons of it has very, very, very effectively gone to the con side. The only pro about it right now is it is a job, and I don't have one once I leave. I was applying to a lot of jobs in Regina, lots of jobs in Regina. Most of them wouldn't even call me back because I don't have a Regina address. So hopefully once this house closes, I can be like, hey, look, I have a Regina address. But, well, actually, as soon as it firms up, I'll start using it as an address anyway. I'll just say I'm not in town until this time. But I'm hoping somebody out there has some hookups for something, or somebody out there knows a way to make a quick couple grand. Can I sell like a cup of semen? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the, my wife, yeah. But, and my ex-wife's going to be angry because no matter what I do, I'm going to be making less money. I'm not going to get the stip I'm getting now. I'm not going to be getting this. I'm not going to be getting that. So I'm going to be making less money, which is going to piss her off. And she's going to take me to court saying, oh, he's making less. And yeah, I'm making less because I'm looking out for my family. My family can't live in this isolation anymore. My autistic son needs help. He needs structure. He needs better schooling. He needs everything like that. My 5-year-old daughter needs the same thing. My 14-year-old daughter doesn't even live with us anymore. She lives with her grandparents because she wanted to go to high school and start high school in a normal school, because here we have grade 9, but after that you have to go to either internet school or you go to boarding in Thunder Bay or Winnipeg. Well, she's not of the Treaty 3. She's not of the Deer Lake First Nations band, so she isn't getting the boarding schools. She would only have the internet high school. And she didn't want to do that, which I understand. So she moved in with Grandma and Grandpa, well, Nana and Papa Fish. And that's where she's going to school, in Van Cleek Hill. Our family has broken apart because of this job, and we needed this job. We did. It did a lot of the things it needed to do. It got us on the path we needed to get on to be able to stand on our own 2 feet. It strengthened our relationship. It strengthened a lot, but at the same time, it cost us a lot. And there's a lot of time we'll never get back. And you don't ever get that time back. So it's time to do something right for the family. Because, I mean, what am I going to do? Just die and have on my tombstone, he worked really hard? Because that's all I do. I work all the time. I don't stop. And I can't keep doing that. My family needs to see me every once in a while. I need to see them. We need to be able to make those memories, because that's all I'll be soon enough, is a memory. I know it. My body, 4 years of doing this, my body's falling apart. But the 1 year of doing this because this store had no southern help, right? The last store we were at, there was 6 of us, and the town did our services, the town did our garbage, the town did our water, the town did our sewage, right? Like, here we do everything ourselves, all the way up to meeting the plane. Even if the plane's landing at 3 a.m., you're meeting the plane. Here there was me and Alicia, and then we added Wilbert. And Wilbert's a great guy. Wilbert doesn't work like the 2 of us. There's no fire under his ass to get anything done. And you need that. Even with us working 70 hours, at most he's working 42. And when you're working 70 hours and you're getting paid 37 and a half, you think you're okay with that? I'm not. I had one company talking to me, and they're like, oh, you get this much lunch, you get 2 lunch periods and this and that per day. And I'm like, lunch periods? What the fuck is a lunch period? And she started laughing, and she goes, you know what the funny thing is? We've actually talked to many people from your company, and they all laugh at us when we say lunch, or we say that this is the amount of hours you're working and nothing else. If you work, you are salaried, but if you work over this many hours, we will pay you overtime. They all balk at this. And I'm like, yeah, of course they balk at this, because what this company is good at is flexing their muscle on that salary. You're salaried, so you can work as many hours as we need you to. Oh, you worked 70 hours this week? Well, your contract says every once in a while you might have to work more hours. Okay, well, that's fine. This hasn't been every once in a while. This has been every fucking week since we landed here. Not my DSO's fault. My DSO is really good. I really like her. I'm releasing some frustration now. And then you'll have things like category managers come to visit your store. You need to do this, and making decisions for your store and all that. And I actually had it out with one of the category managers that were here for the audit, because he was telling my fresh supervisor what she should be doing, going against what I've told her to do. And he's like, well, you need to have this. And I go, okay, that's great. Are you going to be here to make sure she's here to do this job? He said, well, no. I go, are you going to be here to do it if she's not here? He goes, well, no, no, it's not my thing. You know what? I want a job that pays me for the time I work. I'm done. I'm not lifting another finger. I'm not doing anything extra. And I said right to him, I'm like, you're more than welcome to fly up here, live in my house, and do my job. Well, I don't. Then shut your mouth. Just stop. Stop. Enough is enough. None of you listened to us for a year, and now now that the presidents and stuff have been in the store who didn't listen to us for a year, they're like, oh shit, we need to do something, because you can't even get Winter Road here. We've put too much stuff in this store. No, really? I told you almost a year ago that you've put too much stuff in this store, but you didn't listen. You didn't listen because I'm the dummy and you're the head office person, right? So now that you've been through here, you're like, oh no, we need to fix this. This is wrong. Or there's way too much stuff here. Why would we send all this stuff here? Because your category managers send the stuff here on potential sales, not on the size of the store or what the store says. Because the people that work in the store, they don't matter at all. It's the people that fucking are sitting in a head office, little cushy job, that are making the big money that matter, right? Because they know everything. Even though none of them have stepped foot in the stores, none of them. Now you know how I feel, right? Okay, I gotta go. So if you have an idea for a job, great. If you know a way to help us get the fucking shit out of here, or get some furniture and please let me know. Thank you. Bye.